Hello friends, I am Nisha Sharma, Associate Professor, Department of English. The topic under discussion today is stanza-wise analysis of Hiroshima by Akke. You must have heard of the name of Akke. Akke is his pen name or pseudonym, whereas his real name is Satchidanand Hiranand Vatsyayan. He is a major Hindi poet, novelist, critic, and journalist. This poem, as the name suggests, is written after the grievous incident of Hiroshima bombing by Allied forces of USA in an attempt to end the Second World War on August 6, 1945. The poet explains vividly and brings out a clearer picture of what has happened to that fateful day. How the whole of city of Hiroshima, which was beaming with life, was reduced to barren, desolated, and deserted land within a split of second. S.H. Vatsyayan initiated the poem with a symbolic depiction of the sun as usual in that dreadful day. The poem was translated into English by Leonard Navan and Akke himself. It would be better for the understanding of the poem if we have a look at the original Hindi version of the poem also. First, we'll make a reading in Hindi, then a different version of the poem in English, and then the exact version which has been prescribed in our syllabus. एक दिन सहसा सूरज निकला, अरे क्षितिज पर नहीं नगर के चौक, धूप बरसी पर अंतरिक्ष से नहीं फटी मिट्टी से, छायाएं मानव जन की दिशाहीन सब और पड़ी, वह सूरज नहीं उगा था वह पूरब में, वह बरसा सहसा बीचों बीच नगर के, काल सूर्य के रथ के पहियों के जो अरे टूटकर बिखर गए हों दसों दिशाओं में, कुछ क्षण का वह उदय अस्त केवल एक प्रज्वलित क्षण की दृश्य शोक लेने वाली एक दोपहरी, फिर छाया ये मानव जन की नहीं मिटी लंबी हो कर, मानव ही सब भाप हो गए, छायाएं तो अभी लिखी है झुलसे हुए पत्थरों पर, उजड़ी सड़कों की गज पर, मानव का रचा हुआ सूरज मानव को भाप बना सोख गया, पत्थर पर लिखी हुई है जली हुई छाया मानव की साखी है. This was the Hindi version of the poem. There are different translations of Hiroshima by Akke. One has been prescribed in our text and the other one quite similar is given below. One day out of the blue means all of a sudden, rose the sun, not over the horizon. Horizon is the place where earth and sky meet, and normally sun rising takes place there. But this sun didn't appear not over the horizon, but the square of the town, daylight. Burst out of the soil, the human shadows directionless. That sun all over the place, rose it not from the ocean, fell out of the blue at the square of the town. Patterns, broken chariot wheels, fragmented hundreds, scattered all over the place. That momentary rise and fall, only an enlightened moment's noon engulfing the vision. Then the human shadows elongated, unerased, humans vaporized. Shadows return over the scorched stone, the stucco of the ruined roads. A stage sun engulfed the human vapor, this charred shadow engraved over the stone. stands the witness. The poet begins with a very symbolic picture of a sun rising from the east as usual in that fateful day and continues with a comparison of the sun with the bomb. Like the sun tearing open the horizon and greeting people, the bomb tore open the earth and greeted the people with death. The poet says, on this day the sun appeared. No, not slowly over the horizon, but right in the city square. A blast of dazzle poured over, not from the middle sky, but from the earth torn raggedly open. People who were going about doing their normal chores were awestruck and thrown here and there in all directions. The bomb hit directly at the center of the city and devastated the city. The giant cloud of smoke whirling after the blast engulfed everything on its way, like as if the death was driving in a dark colored car and spreading chaos and engulfing every trace of life on its way. The aftermath of the bomb was immense. It was as if the sun shone for some time and annihilated everything within its rays reach. The poet is comparing the sun with the bomb. The sun that is rising, tearing the horizon, is greeting people, and the poet uses this description to compare with the bomb that tore open the earth and bit people with the darkness of death. The bomb that was thrown by the USA hit the center of the city and blasted with enormous clouds of smoke, making a dreadful scenario in the city, as if the city lied on the lap of death. Through the entire poem, the poet is expressing that men themselves destroyed their self-creation. The poet says that there was a great blast caused by the dazzle, not from the middle sky, but from the earth, which is turned raggedly open. After the bombardment, the situation was very apocalyptic, rendering the people homeless and making their life even worse than ever. People and their objects, as well as their dwelling places, were dazed and lost and pitched in every direction. This miserable, and pathetic plight of the general people have been shown by the skilled poet with some beautiful words in diction, images, and symbols. Human shadows, dazed and lost, pitched in every direction. This blaze, not risen from the east, smashed in the city's heart. An immense wheel of death sword, Sankar, spinning down and apart in every direction. Here, in this stanza, some words and phrases are highly suggestive. The phrase human shadows is highly suggestive. It shows various layers of meaning. At first, it suggests how human beings of the city were turned to shadows that are turned to death. Secondly, it stands for the dark shadow of the whole human being who boasts of the great civilization and culture. It also suggests the self centered, egomaniac politicians who seldom feel the qualm of conscience in dropping out the bombs on the innocent people. This phrase also presents a contrast to the natural bombs on natural sun. Generally, when the sun is over our head in the sky, there is a shadow of our body created by the light of the sun. But here the human shadows are dazed and lost. In other words, there were no men, so there were no shadows. The phrase death sword sankar is also very connotative. It connotes how the atomic blast is just like the wheels of the sun, causing violent death all over. The next stanza of the poem is even more ironic and thought provoking. The poet says that during the dance of the death in the middle of the Hiroshima city, the sun rises and sets in a very short time. As a result, all the visions, dreams, and aspirations of human beings were smashed to pieces. Instant of a sun's rise and set, vision annihilating flare, one compressed. The implied meaning is that the terrible blast of the bomb flashed out very suddenly and also subsided in a moment. So, both the rising and setting of the sun were done within a very short period of time. We know that the sun generally rises in the morning and sets in the evening. But here, in this city of Hiroshima, this whole process of the sun from morning to evening were confined to few seconds at noon of the day. This is why the poet uses the phrase one compressed noon. This phrase also shows the cruel and inhuman activity of human being to change the rule of nature. The extended metaphor of the sun has been again very beautifully used in the next stanza, in which the poet says that it was not human shadows that lengthened, paled, and died. The only shadows that stay are the shadows of the burning rocks and stones of these vacant streets. And then it was not human shadows that lengthened, paled, and died. It was men suddenly become as mist, then gone. The shadows stayed, burned on rocks, stones of these vacant streets. This poetic and metaphoric description present a very realistic picture of that situation caused by the atom bombs. The poet is of the opinion that all men of the city were dead as suddenly as the mist. In the natural process of the day, the heat of the sun dries the mist on the blades of the grass, but here this man-made fierce and horrible bomb and the life of man within a very few minutes. The only thing that stays in the city is the shadows. Again, here the term shadow has got a number of meaning. At first, it suggests the dark aspects of that satiric behavior of men. It also denotes the stain and scar made by the merciless mankind towards the innocent mankind. These dark shadows have haunted the civilization and is still haunting and will be haunted in the next generation. So, the only thing that stays today is the shadow. On the second scale of meaning, the shadows here also denotes the shadow caused by the flame of the burning rock and stones of the vacant streets, as there were no people in the city. The last stanza again extends the image of sun, light, and shadow with contrast and irony. The poet says, a sun conjured by men converted men to air, to nothing. White shadows sink on the black rock give back man's witness to himself. These last lines of the poem convey the poet's message to such men who were tempted by the power and authority, fame and popularity. It also shows how it was a great folly of human being to destroy the other human being. Here the phrase a sun doesn't denote the God-made sun made for the welfare of the whole flora and fauna. Here, a sun with indefinite article a and not the definite article the shows the indefinite fate of human being bound to be shattered in the days to come if man keeps on making such type of suns for the annihilation of human being. So, it is the message of the poet that such type of sun or bomb conjured by men will do nothing but to convert men to air or to nothingness. The phrase white shadows is very ironic in this context. It suggests the so called modern materialistic development of modern science for which men are always boasting and bragging on their achievements. But truly speaking, this white shadows or the modern generation is burning slightly on the black rock made by men. So the witness of this great havoc and tragedy done on the innocent people directly go to the modern man who is quite insensitive and cold to nature and to his own human brethren. Thank you.